Hello, beautifuls. This is Aromie here, and welcome back to Seduce Me. I have completed everybody's route, but I haven't got the super happy endings on most of them, and I figured out why I didn't get it for James, because I messed up on this part. So hopefully, when I do this, it will be correct. But if it does take me a couple of tries, I'm so sorry for putting you guys through. I'm probably gonna edit it out if I do get a terrible ending. So let's actually start with James. This is the part where I wasn't supposed to laugh. So, but I did. Bam. There. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right there. So now James would, because he didn't like those guys eating all like that. They didn't really eat like that. But since I accidentally did that step wrong, hopefully that was the only reason why we didn't have the super happy ending for James. So let's start reading. I merely smiled before I took some food for myself. There was one piece of food that intrigued me, and it was barely touched by the boys. It looked like green pasta with shrimp over it. Huh? What's this?
That, miss, is a shrimp pesto dish. Pastas are my specialty, so I'm positive you'll enjoy it.
Ooh, I love different types of pastas. I usually don't like pasta. I twirled some around my fork and tried it. I could feel my senses open as my taste buds practically melted in delight of the taste. It was creamy and savory, almost impossible to describe. This is amazing!
I'm glad you like it. At least someone here in the room has
God.
taste.
Matthew and Sam glared at James before they continued to eat. I couldn't help but smile at the brotherly quarrel before eating the rest of the pasta on my plate. James seemed to really hold high standards for his brothers, though it wasn't my place to question why. And this is where we can skip. We can do so much skipping now. Thank God.
Then why did...
Yeah. Don't question it.
Are you sure?
Pretty positive, guys. James with the garden. Yes. Ask him a question. And we already did all this. To be honest, no. Yes, I'm ready. Yes, I am ready. Gotta be brave. Oh God.
I'm so sorry about...
Thank you for your
Do you have college?
condolences. Yes, I do.
What do you think of the...
Do you think the
You're welcome.
Oh. I'm like going so quick that I'm not realizing what am I doing. Yada. Get out of my house, idiot. Duck, I guess. I ducked underneath Malex's incoming hand. I stared at his hand and his black flame tattoo in surprise as I took a couple steps back from Malex. Matthew and Damien stepped in front of me, guarding me from Malex with their arms. I guess I didn't pick this choice before.
A quick one. I'm liking you more and more.
Back off, Malex!
Don't start acting tough, you pathetic excuse of a demon. You need more protection than her.
Shut up!
Oh, did I make little Matthew cry? Why don't you just grow a pair?
Enough, Malex.
The woman who had been standing in silence the whole time planted a firm hand on Malex's shoulder. Malex looked back at her with a growl and a glare that could kill.
Since when did you get the guts to speak out of place?
We both know you've never controlled me. I want them dead just like you do. But now's not the time.
Fuck off! I know what I'm doing.
Do you? Even if you did fight them, there's 5 against 2. We never win.
Shut up!
Let's go, Malex! We're wasting our time!
Oh, a clip we never heard of. Let's explore the house. Try. Hey, disturb you guys. Stop working so hard. And find one of the incubi. Check out the book. I'm really scared I will accidentally pick the wrong choice. Keep going. glare into her soul, and that is when we see her. Ratio. That's when we see Diana. I like quickly forgot her name so bad. Let them go. Let them stay. And this is where Diana is like, "Urgh. Hi, my name is Diana." Doesn't matter. We're gonna talk back to her. This is a lot of skipping. But, you know, I feel better. I don't feel like the best. Do a kiss. Barge in and set her straight. Yeah, 'cause I love him. I love my James. Okay, this is the part that's different. I could hear James' heartbeat. He held me close in his arms and I felt safe beyond words.
I wasn't lying, you know.
I looked up at James, wondering what he meant by what he said. James smiled down at me, moving a strand of my hair from my face to look down at me.
I love you. I love every single fiber of you.
Oh,
Your
fiber.
mind, your body, your soul. You're quite possibly the most interesting woman I have ever met. You always find your way into my mind. You...
Oh my god, such fangirl. I stared wide-eyed, blushing like a maniac. Was this real? No way. This couldn't be real. Was James confessing to me? Confessing his love for me? James gently smiled and caressed my cheek. The warmth of his hand invited me to nuzzle into it, and I closed my eyes. This wasn't a dream. My heart was pounding to the point where I was sure James could hear it. James gently leaned in, closing his eyes. He stopped, however, remaining just a mere torturous inch away from my lips. He wanted me to show my feelings for him. He had left himself open for me to kiss him or leave him empty. The power I had was unbelievable. Obviously kissing him, duh. I loved him and wanted to give him exactly what he wanted. I gently leaned in, letting my lips finally touch his gingerly. James let out almost a pleasured purr against my lips before wrapping both of his arms around my waist. Pulling me close to him, I moved my arms up and around his neck, feeling the kiss between us deep into a heated height. My chest was pounding, making me feel and see fireworks in my mind. James was everything I desired. He was the man I wanted, demon or not. It was all so supernatural to fall in love with someone so quickly. Maybe it was the sense magic I was thrown into. Maybe it was Cupid playing with my heart. Either way, I found myself melting at the thought of him being with me. I found myself combining my fingers through James' hair, what the hell? Making the man holding me softly tremble at my touch. He gently nibbled on my lower lip, asking me to deepen the kiss between us even further. I easily teased him before finally opening my mouth, slightly for him. His tongue gently danced with mine, as one of his hands slid up my back and cradled my head. He gently leaned my body back, making me cling to him as the heat of our kiss rose higher and higher. Gently, though, James slowed the kiss down and pulled away, staring down at me. His eyes burned for more, wanting me to melt and buckle in his arms. I could feel myself melt already. James opened his mouth to speak, but as a very small blush ran along his cheeks, he was reduced to shy silence. I stared as he tried to find the words to say in my eyes. I knew exactly what he wanted. He didn't need energy, though, right? Are you?
No, I just...
I stared wide-eyed, feeling a blush on my cheeks grow. He didn't say anything more, but I knew that what words would have followed if he continued. He wanted me. I was stunned. Was I that appealing to him? Was his passion really that deep for me? James gently lifted his head and kissed my forehead, losing the blush and finally being able to speak.
If you don't want to, we don't have to.
I could feel my mind go numb and purr at the idea. A moment with an incubus. He was demon of sex, the purest form of lust and desire. My world would rock, and I would enjoy every second of it. At the same time, I was indeed inexperienced. Diana wasn't wrong when she claimed me to be innocent. Did I want to give that innocence to him? Especially this early? I found myself forgetting the words yes and no. What could I say to him? I knew that I knew then what I wanted, but how to say it without breaking the moment. Seduce me, because that's the title of the game. I couldn't believe the two words that came out of my mouth. It made the most sense to tell him yes. I needed him. I wanted him. Those two words must have said something in him finally breaking. Finally break. James quickly resumed the kiss with me, to which I eagerly kissed back and pulled him closer to my body. The heat inside of my chest was craving his touch, and I needed to deny any space between us. James lowered a hand and brought one of my legs around his waist, as he lowered his other hand to my waist. Without breaking the kiss, I gripped to his shoulder and jumped off my feet, wrapping both of my legs around him, making him hold me up. His touch kept raising my need for him higher and higher, bringing my mind to the desire that was buried in the back of my mind. James held me close, kissing me deep and making me moan against his lips. I could feel our bodies sink into the ground, noticing a gentle gold glow penetrate through my closed eyelids. What? Before I could open my eyes, however, I felt our bodies fall onto a familiar feeling bed with James landing on top of me. Oh, shoot. Hi. Hi, chest. Hi. I like have like I don't know if I told you guys or even before earlier episodes, but if you guys haven't watched that far or just skipped, I usually have a fear of guys with their bare chest, and I kind of have that fear still. I don't know why. Maybe because it's so much skin. So like right now, I'm technically not looking at the picture. I'm looking at like the side of my computer screen. It's so immature because I'm like not even a kid anymore. I'm like an adult, but still, it's I can't handle. So I'm just gonna look at the words, okay? Don't make fun of me. Like my face is blushing red right now. If I had like a little webcam, face cam shiz. But okay. I stared up at James as he pulled his face slowly away from mine. His eyes were almost glowing in the dark, piercing into my soul and making me shiver in anticipation. He effortlessly removed his gray sweater and red tie, leaving him in his tightly fitted white button-up over me. I could practically feel the heat of his skin through the thin fabric. However, as he held me, I could slightly feel the shiver of his hands. He was nervous? Was I his first? He wasn't going to show it. He wanted me to enjoy this moment, but I was afraid of screwing up. His shivering hands showed me his emotions perfectly. I gently reached up and brought his head down, kissing him once again. I wanted him to not worry. The pleasure between us would be heavenly, and we'd go through it together. I closed my eyes and gave him myself to James. My body, my mind, my soul, it all belonged to him as he held me. His body, his mind, his soul. It all belonged to me as I gave into his embrace. I need a drink because my voice... Okay, his kisses and fingers over my skin would forever engrave themselves into my memory as our passion rose through incredible heights. Our breaths and moons to each other equally sounded and echoed like a blissful chant we never wished to end. We kept moving, loving, feeling every inch of our bodies until we had enough, and I was enveloped in his embrace. Skin and skin, heartbeats matching, we held each other in the glow of the aftermath. I nuzzled my head under James' chin as he held me close.
I love you so much.
Oh my god. I love you too. Just to hear those words come from James' mouth made my heart flutter. To hear me answer made my soul warm and glee. I could feel both of us sink into a peaceful sleep together. It was the best sleep I had in days, and I was happy. I had love and I had my happiness. My life was simply perfect. When I opened my eyes, I found myself staring into James' bare chest. I blushed, but looked up to see James still sleeping. His sleeping face made me giggle softly, but the reality of the situation made my heart flutter. And this is where Diana was outside. Yes or no? What? Oh, this is when she said to like give the boys away. Thank God I didn't click yes. The rest of the story can almost be passed over. With Diana gone, my life returned to normal with school, and my friends not remembering what had happened. It was as if magic never even appeared in my world. One thing for certain, however, James loved me and I loved him just as much. We had promised our lives to each other, and nothing was going to take that away from us, not even time itself. Our love was so powerful it practically overwhelmed me with joy every time I found him holding me close every morning. To think, a demon ex-prince in love with a human like me. It was unthinkable, unbelievable. It was practically impossible. But nothing is impossible until you try. So she tried. But it was true. The other boys decided to leave on their own accord. They knew that my future would only need James at my side, so they each decided to start their own lives in the human world. Jim was heartbroken at first, but understood that he had to let his brothers grow, like he did. Besides, James had someone new to care for now. His brothers didn't need him now that he was caring for me. I felt bad as well for being closer to James than the others, but they reassured me that I was okay, and that they would remain nearby should I ever need them. I was happy for that. They made me promise, however, that I would love James for as long as we lived. That promise was instantly given. Oh my God, I never thought about it. I thought about it till now. Like, if she dies, James would be alone, 'cause I'm not a demon, so I can't live forever. Oh my God, that is so sad. This episode is probably gonna be like super long. So sorry, but some of you guys like super long videos, I'm pretty sure. But what of my future? Well, it was kind of made for me. Before I graduated, James decided to step into the light of Anderson. We already okay. Yeah. Okay. One night, like a couple of years after the boys and I had met, I had a moment to myself. So I sat in my room and took in all that had happened, as if it was all a dream. The demons, the devils, the magic. It was all surreal to believe. It almost frightened me to think that it would have been all a dream. But the warm feeling in my heart reminded me that it was real. The demons, the magic, the love I had. All real. I smiled as I held my hands to my chest, relishing in the feelings dancing within my soul.
Are you okay?
Totally okay, totally not dancing in my brain. I looked over my lap to see James standing at the doorway, cross-armed with a playful raised eyebrow. I smiled and blushed a bit. Yeah, I'm okay. I was just remembering how we met and such.
Were you now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I wouldn't change anything. James smiled and walked over to me, gently taking my hands and kissing over the knuckles sweetly.
Come, I have a surprise for you.
Oh, you do? Is it something sweet? I raised an eyebrow. A surprise. What the heck was he plotting? James simply chuckled and kissed my forehead.
I promise you'll love it.
Okay, if you say so. Deciding to go along with it, I nodded and stood up. James gently took my arm under his and led me out of the bedroom. I stared in shock at the path of golden rose petals lining the floor, creating a path away from my door. James led me down the golden rose path as if this was all a part of his plan. James, what is going on? James didn't answer. James continued to lead me down the stairs of the lobby, where the path winded into the dining room. I stared in shock as I saw the table set with candles and a large bouquet of golden roses decorating the middle. James, I feel sorta undressed, you know?
There's nothing wrong with how you look now. You're beautiful no matter what clothes you are in.
Even in like a really baggy pants and a baggy shirt. I couldn't help but let a red blush paint on my face, making James chuckle once again. My voice, I'm so sorry. Might have to take a break after this. It led me to my seat, where I was greeted with a plate of shrimp pesto on the table. Oh, James.
Remember what that is?
Of course. Oh, of course. That, sir, is a shrimp pesto dish. James laughed and smiled. I smiled back up at him, feeling nostalgia run over my heart. Giddy happiness bubbled as I looked up at the man I had loved. You made it when we first met, when you and your brothers were apologizing for getting bloody in the lobby.
Well, it was more than that we had to apologize for, but that was the gist of it, yes.
How could I forget? What's this all about? James gently bent forward and kissed my forehead sweetly, making me giggle slightly.
You are such a wonderful woman. I can't believe that I can love someone this much. You have changed my whole world, and now you have become my everything. I practically get scared waking up every morning in case this is all just a blissful dream.
Oh, James. Before I could speak further, James gently placed his fingers on my lips, touching me before he caressed my cheek. I nuzzled into his hand, almost purring at the feel of the warmth against my cheek.
I love you, and I will never stop loving you. No matter what comes our way, I promise to be there for you as long as time keeps moving. I want to be yours forever.
Oh my god. Oh. Before I could realize the situation, James slowly got down on one knee beside me and took out a small black box. He lifted the top to reveal a beautiful ring with a purple gem crown with gold and purple embellishments. I stared, my mind instantly freezing inside at this. Freezing in surprise at the sight. I felt my eyes water at the immense feeling bursting inside my chest.
Will you, Miss Anderson, marry me?
Oh my god! I was speechless. I felt myself break and start to weep in joy. Was this happening? This had to be a dream. I mentally begged every single deity in the sky to never wake me up if this was the case. If that was the case. I fought my tears, trying to speak to answer his question. I didn't want to leave him in the dark, and I didn't want him to be on the ground for long. Yes, I will! I stood up, crying and jumping in joy as James smiled the biggest smile I had ever seen on his face. It slid the ring onto my finger. As it finally ended its upward journey at the crevice of my finger, James stood up and took me into his arms, kissing me and sealing my words. Sealing? I thought I said stealing. I had gained the heart of a demon. No, of a man I loved. I vowed to cherish him and love him for the remainder of my days and beyond. Could a demon love a human forever? I knew James would. And that was my happily ever after. James' proposal. Awesome. But wait, let's load up the gallery. James. There, now we got all of his pictures, but let's leave it on here. We finally got James. I didn't think it would take me this long for an ending, so I'm probably going to chop it up into like a happy ending for each guy. So all we got left is Matthew, Damien, of course, and I feel so bad for not remembering this one. Sam. Obvious name, and I couldn't even think about it. But yeah, I might just cut it up for those 3 episodes because I didn't know it would take me that long to actually complete one. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this so far, and that we got 3 more episodes before I would have to say farewell to this game, and farewell to you beautiful people for constantly watching this series. I'm gonna be quite sad. I don't think the other visual novels that I will be playing in the future can top this. But if you guys do have other visual novel games that are free and downloadable, just tell me about it, because I'm running low on visual novel games to play. And I know most of you have came to my channel to watch visual novels, so I would still like to produce those videos for you guys. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you James fans are really proud to see this ending. I'm pretty happy. So yeah, stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys next time.